Last one, Haynes King, 25 of 35 for 408 yards and 2 TDs, and then add 103 rushing yards and 2 TDs on the ground. So you're north of 500 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns. And the defense just cannot get a stop to save their lives. And so NC State beats you. Brutal, heartbreaking. But, I mean, that's like the definition of Haynes King is leave it all out there and balls to the wall for 60 minutes, regardless of what happens at the end.
Yeah, they're super one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Having to rely so much on Haynes King. I really wanted to, like, at least just bring this game up on Thursday, but I never did, which you can think I'm lying about that if you want. It was also part of Josh Pate's upset alert.
It got a good bit of noise just in general.
It was not an easy one. Night game at NC State.
Yeah.
NC State had already beaten Virginia, who's a top 15 team, number 8 according to some, and just couldn't get a stop defensively. But some of the Georgia Tech students are already giving up, since I have a little inside connection there, which is crazy considering you go to Georgia Tech and you're not smart enough to realize the season's not over. It's not over at all. With Miami losing, Georgia Tech is still – I'm pretty sure they control their own destiny to make the ACC championship still.
They got to at least be close.
And they only have 2 ACC games left.
Because, I mean, your other big contenders for that final spot is like a Duke, who you've beat Duke. There's a bunch of 5-1 teams, and then it's Virginia's the only undefeated team, which is funny because
Pittsburgh is 5-1.
Every ACC team has lost
they will
to
play
another.
Pitt.
Yeah, so they probably do control their own destiny. Do they play Louisville? I don't think so.
They don't play Louisville.
So they would.
So I don't know how the tiebreaker worked there.
Sure.
SMU is also sitting there at 4-1, but they have the win over Duke at least.
Yeah, and they play Pitt. So if they beat Pitt, they'll be like Pittsburgh will be out of the running. So then it'll come down to those tiebreakers with Louisville and SMU.
No, this is shaping up to be
I'll look at that.
an electric conference race. And we've talked about it before, but I just love that technically, not even technically, every ACC team has lost to another ACC team.
Yeah.
Virginia just doesn't count as a conference game, so they're 5-0 and
Yeah.
chilling.
I saw someone else say it'll be really interesting to see if that counts as a mutual opponent when they start doing tiebreakers.
Interesting.
Because it wasn't a conference game, but it is a mutual opponent. I don't know how they're going to handle that. I am glad that I am not in charge of those decisions. I bet the people up at the top are hoping it just sorts itself out.
Yeah,
so you don't start having to get to like 6 or 8 layers of tiebreakers. But yeah, and also shout out to the NC State quarterback. I was trying to pull up his stats.
CJ Bailey,
yeah,
baby.
CJ Bailey, someone you talked about like probably a month and a half ago. Because NC State was like 3-1 to start the season, I believe, or started well, started strong. And he's a freshman, right?
Yes.
But I saw some of his highlights, people posting like he might be the first overall pick in 2027. And then the more realistic people / the haters were like, I bet we could put an outfielder out there with a strong arm and clip a couple highlights and people would think he's going to be like, if you buy the talent, he's going to be elite.
So disrespectful to CJ Bailey, who's done great things. And sure, there's not tons of tape and it's hard to tell right now. It's just the athleticism and ability carrying him and what the mental ability is. But he's balling. So
well, athleticism can get you 4th overall. So
yeah, you just may not be a successful NFL QB, but
they don't control their own destiny.
Okay,
unfortunate.
Louisville would win a tiebreaker if they were the 2 teams tied at 7-1.
And who else does Louisville play?
Louisville has to play SMU.
Okay,
and Clemson. Next week as well.
And Kentucky.
Gotcha.
But Kentucky won't count towards the conference race, sadly.
True. And Cal.
But if they were to beat Georgia, they would be in at 11-1.
Yeah.